I pretended to still be in a coma after waking up because my family was in the room. The first thing I heard was my brother's voice. We should pull the plug before month's end. Avoid another round of medical bills. I'd been trying to open my eyes for hours, fighting through layers of fog, heaviness. When those words cut through the darkness like a blade, my brain was still sluggish. Whatever drugs they'd been pumping into me, but I understood enough. I should keep my eyes shut, keep listening. Jeffrey's voice had that casual tone, the one he used for business decisions, like he was discussing canceling a subscription service, not ending his brother's life. My mother's response was worse. She agreed immediately, said the doctors told her minimal brain activity. I'd probably never wake up. Why waste money keeping me alive when the estate could be settled? Everyone could move on with their lives. I'd been in some kind of accident. That much I could piece together. Mechanical beeping around me, hospital smell, IV tube I could feel in my arm, but I had no memory of what happened, how long I'd been unconscious. My body felt distant, uncooperative, like it belonged to someone else. I couldn't move my fingers, couldn't turn my head, couldn't do anything except lie there, listen while my family discussed ending my life for financial convenience. Jeffrey was still talking, something about the will, how my assets would be distributed. I tried to focus through the mental fog. He said my estate was worth approximately $4.2 million between my tech company equity, real estate holdings, investment accounts. He mentioned that according to my will, everything would be split equally among my 3 siblings if I died without children. My mother interrupted, said that seemed fair. They should schedule a meeting with the estate attorney as soon as they made the decision about life support. The room went quiet. I heard footsteps leaving. I wanted to scream that I was awake, that I could hear them, that they were talking about murdering me for inheritance money, but my body wouldn't respond to any commands. My brain was sending. I couldn't open my eyes, couldn't move my mouth, couldn't even twitch a finger. Panic flooded through me. I was trapped inside a body that wouldn't obey. Listening to my own family plan my death, I focused on breathing, staying calm, trying to assess the situation rationally, despite the terror. If I couldn't move or speak yet, I needed to wait until I could, and while I waited, I needed to gather information about what exactly my family was planning, why they thought killing me was acceptable. I'd built a successful software company over 8 years, starting in my garage, growing it into a firm with 43 employees, multiple enterprise clients. The company had been acquired 6 months ago, larger tech corporation, $8 million, my share after taxes. After paying out other stakeholders, roughly $5 million. I'd invested most of it conservatively, real estate, index funds, planning for long-term financial security. I was 34 years old, unmarried, no children, and apparently no family members who cared whether I lived or died, as long as they got their inheritance. The realization hit me like a physical blow, even though I couldn't feel my actual body. These were people I'd loved, trusted my entire life. Jeffrey was my older brother by 3 years, someone I'd looked up to growing up. Our mother had raised us as a single parent. After our father died when I was 6, my 2 sisters, Veronica and Claudia, had always seemed close to me, or so I'd thought. Over the next several hours, I drifted in and out of consciousness. My brain fought to fully wake up. Each time I surfaced, I'd listen carefully to whoever was in the room. Sometimes just nurses, checking monitors, adjusting equipment. Once it was a doctor, discussing my condition with someone, saying I'd been in a medically induced coma for 12 days, following severe head trauma from a car accident. They'd reduced the sedation 3 days ago to see if I'd wake up naturally, but so far, there'd been no response. The doctor said my brain scans showed activity, but it was impossible to predict if or when I'd regain consciousness. The person he was talking to asked about long-term prognosis. Doctor admitted that after 2 weeks in a coma, chances of full recovery decreased significantly. Each additional week reduced the likelihood I'd wake up as the same person I'd been before the accident. Veronica visited that evening. I recognized her perfume before she spoke. She sat down next to my bed. I felt her take my hand. For a moment I thought maybe she'd be different from Jeffrey and our mother, that she'd actually care about me beyond the inheritance. Then she started talking, destroyed that hope completely. She told my unconscious body she was sorry it had come to this, but she needed her share of the estate to pay off her husband's gambling debts. She said they were in serious financial trouble, creditors threatening legal action. She'd tried to ask me for money before the accident, but I'd said no, didn't approve of her husband's behavior. She actually sounded resentful, like I'd been unreasonable, refusing to fund his addiction. Veronica said she hoped I'd understand. She had to think about her own family first. Really, it would be a mercy to let me go, rather than keep me alive as a vegetable. She squeezed my hand, then left. I lay there processing what I'd just heard. My sister was willing to let me die, to pay off gambling debts. I tried moving my fingers, where she'd been holding my hand, felt the smallest twitch in my index finger, barely perceptible, but it was something. Then Claudia walked in with someone she called her lawyer. Full story is linked below or on my channel.